I've been lost on the water for countless days. I'm dehydrated, starved, exhausted, and I think I'm losing it. The water's not shallow enough for me to run aground. How could I have drifted here? How to play. Look around by holding the left mouse button and moving around. Zoom in or out by right-clicking. Read all hotspots, then zoom into an arrow to proceed. Press enter to adjust your settings. Oh. Wow. Okay. This is different. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to something called Wardwell House, I think it's called. Which is, I was under the impression, it's sort of a point-and-click adventure game where you sort of, you're given a still image and then you click on certain things in order to move yourself around. A bit like that Desolatium game, which I played a few months ago, if you remember such things. How do I zoom in? Right-clicking, there we are. Can I click on this? There's no way this is getting fixed without tools and materials. And even then, something over here. Swimming downstream is dangerous and requires too much energy. I should follow the path through this forest. Maybe I can find something to fix my boat. Oh, I see. And then I can zoom in to go this way. Oh, I see. This is interesting. This is quite innovative, actually. But yes, this is supposed to be a bit spooky and a bit freaky. I do like it, though. The images are very, very pretty and very highly detailed. I mean, obviously, they're real places, so of course there's a little detail in them. But, it's nice. I like it. Strange landmark. Hopefully. Yes, I'm not convinced this is a landmark. I think this is either the sign of a demon or the sign of a landmine. I thought I heard footsteps from back there, but it was probably my imagination. Yes, definitely not the footsteps of whatever crazy person put this up. Who's looking for their next sacrifice to the crazy god. Right. Oh, another one. Another one? There's one with barbed wire around it, as if it was some sort of animal trap. I'm thinking it might be more of a person trap. Dead, decaying trees everywhere. This island doesn't look like the most habitable of places. Really? I would have thought lots of dead trees would be good, because then it would be, easier to make a shelter, but, Hey, I'm not Bear Grylls, what do I know? What is that? Why would someone hang a creepy, bizarre-looking black cloth like that? Excellent question. Oh, this looks sort of cute. Names and other markings, two weathers to make out. I remember doing carvings like this with my son on his favourite tree back home. More than one cross in the ground usually means a cemetery or burial grounds. There's not... Is that crosses over there, or are they just little trees? No, I think those are just the trees. So you're thinking, my friend, that these imply a graveyard. I do not. I think they imply something much less pleasant. Not to massively imply that graveyards are pleasant, but, a human skull. It looks aged and decrepit. Is this from a shallow grave? Haven't I heard stories of that happening? Like people being buried in shallow graves, and then, as the earth sort of moves naturally through, wind and rain and, development and stuff, the bodies can sort of push themselves up, which can cause, random skeletons to be found just in woods and things like this. Not too sure what creature's leg that is. It looks like a predator to find shelter before it gets dark. That's quite clearly a human foot. You can see the toes there. And then there'd be the ankle, and then that's the calf. That's clearly a human foot. I told you those things were bad. Right. Let's hope it's all due to people with strangely marked graves. Some very human-footed wolves. And some odd tectonic movements. Iron shackles. Crusted with what can only be blood. I should stay calm. My exhaustion is making me imagine frightening scenarios. Is that what's making you imagine frightening scenarios? It's not all of this, is it? A noose tied to a glistening steel chain. It looks fresh, like it's only recently been placed. Yeah, I don't think it's your imagination that's making the spookiness happen, mate. This hasn't been here for a long time. Whoever's left it is probably still around. Yes, I'm looking forward to the jump scare. Well, little bird. Hello, little bird. Finally some life on this island. I'm so hungry that I wouldn't mind joining them in for a little feast. Oh. I think we're going to talk about catching the bird and cooking like some pigeon burgers or something. But, No, you decided to eat the dead, rotting meat on the floor. Dried blood coats the hook. I would have assumed that they were being used by hunters, but after all the other evidence I've seen, I'm beginning to think otherwise. I think, my friend, that is utterly reasonable. I don't know where the other, hotspot is, because it doesn't seem like the arrow is appearing. Oh! It was a little dinosaur fossil. All the guts are still inside. Something has taken or skinned the poor creature alive. Who would do such a thing? What even is that the skeleton of? It looks like a rat. It seems a bit big and a bit chunky to be a rat. I'd imagine a rat would be a little bit... Oh goodness, what have I done? Sorry, I clicked out of the game. Ignore that. Yeah, it seems a bit sort of big and chunky to be a rat. I would have imagined a rat being a little bit sort of closer to the ground. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm not massively familiar with varying skeletons of random woodland creatures. That's not one of my hobbies, contrary to popular belief. I thought that was a person, but it's just another black cloth. I have a bad feeling that I'm being watched or followed. There's some more hooks. I don't know what it was they were trying to catch, but a dead crow whose wings have been torn off. If I can't find some other meal, I'll come back and cook this. Beggars can't be choosers. Really charming. I mean, I suppose there's no accounting for taste in a survival situation. What is that noise? Is that the river? That had better be the river. Where the hell have I come? There's a human hand with still flesh in it. Bones. And these remains are fresh. I think we're in the forest from the forest. I think that's where we are. I think that is the most logical solution. We've gone on a little kayaking holiday, and we've ended up on the forest of the forest. I'm not plugging a series I'm vaguely proud of. Shush. Let me follow the stream, see where it leads. At least I'll have something to guide me along, and hopefully someone to drink. Right. Oh gosh, another one of these. They remind me of ring wraiths. I'm sure this black cloth is meant as a foreboding message, but I really should press on. I'm dying of hunger. Oh gosh. Maybe I could build a raft using some of these broken branches after I get the energy. The hook looks like it's been used, like it's been here for a while. Small chunks of rotten flesh still remain on it. I'd have to be completely crazy to eat that, although I'm not too far from that line of thinking just yet. Ew. I still think the fresh pigeon would be a better idea. When are we going to find the house? This particular black cloth looks like a praying witch. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but it appeared to move. You look at this and you see a praying witch. I see someone who's left laundry day far too long. That's what I see. Right, let's just get out of here before something else goes inevitably horribly wrong. Oh, a little pathway. Some more crosses. Did someone else receive an abrupt and violent end here? Has my delirium got the best of me? A man-made path in the middle of a forest. I finally might be nearing civilization. I finally might be nearing an end to my suffering. Yes, I'm convinced that you are nearing an end to your suffering, except I think it's going to come at the end of a large hook. It's probably going to tear your trachea out. But I guess that's better than starving to death. It's more narrative. Each time I see these, I get a strange feeling that they were once people. Some very thin people. Some admirably thin people. They've got dedication to their diet, if nothing else. Oh, gosh. It is beautiful, and I feel like if it were in colour, it would be a lot less creepy. But because it's not in colour, it is creepy. Right. Where's the latest hotspot? Oh, there's none here. Okay, just having a little look around, just enjoying the sights and the sounds. Chapter 2, Wardwell House. Oh, okay. The path has led me to a clearing, and I've arrived in an old, dilapidated house. At last, I've found some sanctuary. I'm not looking for sanctuary. I'm looking for some sausage rolls in the fridge. I'm sure that's what all murderers keep in their fridges. Oh, God, I've done it again! Sorry. Let's try that again. No way I'm getting back into the wilderness. Oh, you've had enough of it all, have you? It's obvious that these strange cult-like activities took place on this island in a previous era. That's hopeful. The house seems kind of like it sort of bows inwards, like it's narrower at the top. I'm guessing that's something to do with like the sort of the 360-degree camera lens that I'm presuming this has been taken with. I don't know. I've never actually seen one of those cameras in real life, so I don't quite get how they work. But I wonder who would build a house like this on this sinister island. I'll think about it later. Right now, I need a rest. I'm also wondering about these stars. Like, lots of groups have been associated with stars. Some of them good, some of them bad. I'm guessing the ones that were also involved in investment that generated massive houses on spooky islands. I'm guessing they're one of the less good groups. Oh, this is all very enclosed. I feel a bit claustrophobic. Oh, God. The decapitated head of a horse, and we're not even in a mafia movie. The eyes and innards of the head have been removed. The smell is sickening. Ew. Well, could be worse. It could have been in someone's bed. Various rusted tools and chains scattered around. Nothing unusual here. No keys. It's a aunt! It would be really good if the, I mean, if you were only playing this on one screen, it would be fine, but because I'm obviously have two screens set up with my computer, the mouse constantly drifts off the top of the screen, which is immensely annoying. But never mind. Okay, let's go deeper into the house. Yeah, it would just be nice if there was like a little box for the game, so your mouse couldn't wander out of it as you explore. A chainsaw covered in blood. Looks like more than just trees are being cut with this. What a nightmare. Yes. Good to see we're getting back to some good old classic slashers, though. I always understand slashers better than I understand culty people. Locked. So much for trying to go in through a side door. Why don't we try the front door? Surely that would have made more sense. Okay, let's head back. And if I can ever remember the controls. Let's try the front door, yes. Oh, this is nice. This actually seems quite sort of clean and tidy and creepy. And sort of, you know, civilized. What do we have here? This day planner contains entries for day-to-day errands and appointments. The last entry was dated 5 years ago. Hi, horsey. A painting of a gorgeous horse in its prime. Unfortunately, it looks much the same as the one outside. I'm stunned. Immaculateness and opulence were not the impression I was expecting when I may have walked in. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was expecting like Ed Gein's house, not this. Oh, we're gonna go in the house with in the room with the creepy dolls, are we? Sure we are. These uniforms look ancient. Seems like children once lived here. Oh gosh, everything looks well maintained. As if there's another picture of a horse there. Sorry, I thought it was a mirror at first. I was looking for the horse behind me, but it doesn't seem like there is one. According to the clock, today's date is the 21st of September. I can't believe I've been in the water for more than 5 weeks now. Oh, you really are starving. A well-groomed family. They look very rich. Clearly not very rich, because if you're very rich, you can afford to have a face. As much of a luxury as they are. Okie dokie. I keep thinking there's going to be a jump scare, and it hasn't happened just yet. This book looks part of a series on the 17th century American history. Salem, Massachusetts. Places in American history. Really? You're writing a book about Salem, and that was the most ingenious title you could think of?
You have 88 new messages. Playing message from 5 years ago.
Jacob, this is my final reminder about the upcoming board meeting. As CEO and chairman of the board, you are responsible to answer the charges leveled against you. The meeting will discuss how you squandered company funds on gambling. You have not attended a single meeting for months, and the board will also decide your future as chairman. Please respond. This is your company, and it faces huge problems.
Goodness, I've been a naughty boy, haven't I? Well, I mean, not me, but the Jacob that lived here, I presume. It's interesting, because most of the furniture and all, it implies a much older house. I mean, I don't know when this is set, obviously, but I mean, the kayak looked vaguely modern. And this seems as if it would be a lot older, you know, the pictures, the paintings, the furniture, just the style of, well, everything, really. It seems a lot older than just 5 years ago, but, some of the photos have placards with dates and names. They appear to be family photos through multiple generations. Some of them are quite old. This fireplace has been used a great deal. There is a faint sensation of residual heat being given off. These texts on theology, mysticism, and ancient history, it is apparent that many of the books are missing from the shelf, from one shelf than any other. Is it? Is that supposed to be a clue? Who is this bearded gentleman? A diary next to a photograph of an old man. It may be a previous patron of the family. Most entries discuss a hope for their son, Jacob's ability to lead the company he built into prosperity and remove the previous tarnished reputation of the Wardwell family. Ah, interesting. A painting depicting destruction caused by rising waves and storms. Spooky. Eclair wins Kentucky Derby. Honestly, why can't horses just have normal names? Why has there never been just a horse that's just been called Jeff or something? Why must they all have such silly names? Right, are you trying to tell me there's something special about one of these? As I don't see a shelf that's particularly missing books. Many more books are missing from this shelf than any other. I don't know. What do we have over here? Pages and pages from the head of the household's diary entries. It looked like he suddenly shifted gears and focused on gambling above all else, and then he began focusing on his family history and genealogy. His name is Jacob Wardwell. I see. Well, that links up the house and the message, and the name of the game, even. So we have some connections are starting to be built up. This is the last instrument I want to hear played right now. Oh, come on, have some class. The frame reads Samuel Wardwell, May 16th, 1910 to September 22nd, 1692, Salem, Massachusetts. A very old and dusty chest. It looks tightly locked. What is that? Oh, it's like one of those. It's like one of these, only a bit bigger. Sorry, I thought it was a dead body of some kind. To my one and only true love, Catherine, Jacob. Why did you hang it in your own house? Surely it would have made more sense to send it to her house. But hey-ho, I don't tend to understand 17th century love affairs. Looks like the family sat here every evening and shared a dinner. The fireplace is ornamental, and it's another expression of wealth as it's made of expensive marble with generous golden accents. I also find myself wondering where the developers found this house. I'm guessing this is like assuming that these pictures are real pictures and not just incredibly well done sort of renders. I'm guessing this is like a sort of a stately home or some sort of thing. Eclair's Triple Crown win. That horse must have been a real winner. It was coveted once. And looking at it, I get the distinct impression it's the same picture, or the same horse rather, that we saw a picture of at the beginning of the house. Right, I keep getting the buttons mixed up. Tell me that's a clock and not footsteps. Who needs two staircases going to the same floor? For goodness sake. The painting depicts a man being seduced into a forest by an enchanting witch. Portrait of Eclair. This must have been made to commemorate its big Derby win. Yes, I'm guessing the horse was somehow connected to the family. It must have been, surely. That shirt looks freshly washed and ironed. Oh, I thought it was the shadow of a man standing in the doorway, and I was about to get ready for the jump scare, which I'm convinced is coming eventually. Oh dear. Piano Sonnet number 8 in C minor. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm so drained it's hard to concentrate. Yeah, yes, what's this funny line? It's like a tearing. I'm guessing that's just like corruption of the image. Yeah, let's get out of here before I break anything else, shall we? Right. Where to next? Oh, upstairs. Oh, right then. I think from the number of windows outside, it looked like it was a 3-story house, so should be quite a bit to explore. Evidence of a well-travelled family. These vases look exotic and expensive, and utterly unused, if my experience of vases is anything to go by. Several horse racing trophies. That horse must have really earned its keep. A letter addressed to Jacob Wardwell by his wife, who says that she will return in 1 week for the rest of her things and to collect the children. Oh dear, seems like his life was really going down the wazoo, if you'll pardon my French. Portrait of Ella and Evo Wardwell, presumably his children. More evidence of children. They're dusty. It's so tempting, but this house has raised my curiosity, so I'll look around first, without just going to sleep in this child's bed, which I'm probably far too big to fit in anyway. Photos from decades apart. It looks like someone was searching through this family's background for something. Well, didn't they say that Jacob was interested in his genealogy and those scratches on the ceiling? Over here, I think. Past this portrait of some military man. Oh, another nice bed. An even better bed. It's done. This will be my new bedroom for the next few days. I mean, I suppose that's an option. Oh, finally, something I can get behind. A nicely tailored tuxedo. Though I see several red stains in it. When you're wearing a tuxedo, you can't be blamed if occasionally you happen to get a couple of murders going on while wearing it. Footsteps of someone coming upstairs. Is this it? Is this the end for me? You really think I'd hide under the bed or something? I can't zoom in anymore. Someone is here! I better hide! I've been saying that for ages, mate. Never mind. Hide! No. Not interested in the bed. I need to hide somewhere. Oh, in the cupboard. Yes, hide in the cupboard. They won't find you in the cupboard. Come on. Can't stay in here all day. My nerves won't take it. Oh, he's gone. Is he? Yeah, I'm really going to believe that. I'm really, really, really convinced that he's gone. I'm really, really convinced I really need to get the mouse buttons a bit more carefully selected. He's had his tuxedo. I guess he's got one heck of a date to go on tonight. Rightio. Whoever's here went down that hall. I've got to find somewhere to hide downstairs. Oh, alright. What's this strange object? It looks like a lift for the world's thinnest person. Okay, right. Let's go. Let's really stop doing that. On second thought, I better leave rather than hide so I don't get caught. Yes, that seems like a spiffing idea to me, but I'm going to guess the front door's locked. Yeah, here we are. Let's attempt to get out of the front door. Oh, it was actually open. I honestly find that rather shocking. It's always unnerving when there's nothing to look at and it's just making you wait for a moment, because I'm convinced something horrible is going to happen. I don't know who is there, but I'd rather not find out. Can I see them in a window? No, I don't see them. I don't see anyone. Am I gonna... Oh, okay. I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna get out of here, am I? Oh, alright then. It's beginning to get dark. Was I really in the house that long? I wonder if I passed out for a while. Didn't notice. What is up with the camera angle? It's like I'm sort of weirdly stooped over or something. It's very mysterious. Very unnerving for sure. I have to drag my feet to the boat. Maybe I can patch it up with some fallen tree branches nearby. If that were possible, why didn't you do that in the first place? Why do we have to go on this little fiasco for an adventure first? But alright. You're the survivalist, not me. Just thinking about being back on the water makes me sick. The sun beating on me for days with nothing to eat or drink. Yes, it doesn't exactly sound like a nice, relaxing break in Center Perks, but being completely alone for weeks without any resources can make a man go crazy. The mind starts turning on itself, leading to hallucinations. You're very right about that. It's making me start to wonder whether that entire house might have been a hallucination. I mean, I had the suspicion that the bad guy, and I assume he was a guy, was a hallucination, but in one hallucination I saw the waves rise up as high as skyscrapers and they came crashing down upon me. When I came to my senses, the water was serene. Can my luck get any worse? It's about to start raining. How will my broken boat handle a storm? What are you talking about? If it's raining, that means you're going to have fresh water literally falling out of the sky. What you need to do is get like a bucket and collect a little bit of it, and you have plenty to drink. A storm is an excellent thing. I think I'm always back to where I began. Yes, I'm not convinced we're going to find anything too pleasant when we get there, but I'm willing to have a try. Oh, whoop-de-doo, we're back here again. This can't be possible. Could I have gotten lost and navigated back here by mistake? I mean, it was dark before. Chapter 3, Son of Salem. It's too cold outside, and the rain is getting heavier by the minute. I can't risk getting hypothermia by staying outside. It's best to go inside the house until the rain stops. I just hope the person that lives here is gone. Well, I would assume so. I mean, they've probably gone to the Salem Country Ball, I imagine. I imagine there's many other places around about here that merit wearing such a fine tuxedo. But, let's go back inside the house and see what sort of adventures await us within. Well, everything seems fine. Nothing seems too terrible.
You have 87 new messages. Playing message from 5 years ago.
Hello, Jacob. I wanted to speak face to face, but since you didn't show up in the meeting, it's with the utmost regret. I have to tell you that you're fired effective immediately, and the board has elected me the new chairman and CEO of Wardwell Industries. Your actions have brought this company to its knees, but I will try my best to restore the once great name that your father built. Oh, and say hi to Kathy for me.
Nobody lasts for that long. Okie dokie. So, some nasty old cigar-smoking somebody or other has come along and stolen my company. Oh, dearie me, and possibly implying some sort of affair with my wife. How terrible, how awful, how terrible. A very old newspaper clipping from the Salem Gazette of what must have been one of the first years of its publication in 1791. The reporter is writing about the aftermath of the Salem witch trials, which were near their 100-year anniversary. They proclaim many victims' family members were financially compensated, but money can never replace the dead. It's a very true point. Very, very accurate bit of analysis there. My friend, alright, I'll shut up. I've been locked in. I cannot get it open, no matter how hard I try. There's literally windows out there. We could chuck a chair through one of them and then jump. But never mind. Diary entry by Jacob Wardwell, dated 5 years ago. That familiar dark sensation has again been growing in me. I can hear his voice in my head, leading me to unimaginable acts. I have fought it for years, but alas. Where are we going next? We're not having another message, are we? The answering machine is inoperable and there's no phone attached. I see. I mean, it was operable about 2 minutes ago, but never mind. Narrative purposes, doesn't matter if things don't work properly. This diary wasn't open to this page when I left it. Grandfather came to me in a dream last night. The same dream of me being led to execution. But I know this time he smiled at me as the noose was tied around his neck, knowing our pact had been sealed. So was his grandfather the founder of the industry, perhaps? Time-worn documents with illustrations that are horrific. A bull's head on a man's body. A woman being crushed by a pile of treasure that is increasing in weight on top of her, one coin at a time, while she looks up at what's happening to her in agony. The back of the document is signed by Samuel Wardwell. Right, okay, let's keep exploring. Let's see if our tuxedoed host is hanging around at all. The old man's eyes have a steely toughness to them. His expression seems to chill my spine. An ancient-looking cutout that reads, "In the full moon riseth, the tide is high. Crafty the Lord, and endure upon thyself eternal blessings." It signs Samuel Wardwell and makes no sense whatsoever, but maybe I'm just a bit of a moron. Is that everything in here? So we just seem to be exploring the same house again. It's locked, but there's a deep stench of something rotting inside. I'd rather not try and open it. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, given the whole, horse's head we found outside. I just think what we're going to find next. Sheep's bum? I dread to think. Okay, what have we got in here? Nothing, it would seem. We're going to go back upstairs. Now we're going to go into this farm. I don't think we went in here before, did we? Potentially? Oh yes, I remember I fell on the piano, didn't I? I made an absolute ruckus in the process. Books on the occult and paganism. A bookmark is on the chapter about Faith's version of hell. It's chilling how similar this house is to its own description. A valley where people and animals were sacrificed. An entrance which was littered with human remains. Oh yeah, I remember the spooky shirt. Yes, there are certain parallels. Am I stuck in some sort of purgatory then? Wandering around insanity? Waiting for a demon to attack me? Maybe I died on that boat in the river. My corpse is currently bobbing up and down against the shorelines. A note from Jacob Wardwell. And so it ends, or begins. They screamed and wailed as the blaze devoured them, and yet I had no feelings. I will fulfill his destiny, something my weak father never could. There's definitely something very culty going on, though what exactly it's trying to achieve, I'm not sure. Alright, enough of that, thank you. A page from Ella Wardwell's diary. How could you do this to my cat father? Seeing her burned alive has left a scar in my mind that will remain forever. This is my last diary entry dedicated to you. Someone who did such a horrible thing cannot be my father. Giddy aunt! That's awful. Burning an innocent animal alive. Giddy aunt. It's absolutely horrific. And yes, I know I saw a severed horse's head 5 minutes ago, and I didn't particularly bat an eyelid. That's not the point. I cannot look behind me. That makes me rather nervous, but okay. There's other things around here that make me nervous, such as you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and both of you, and frankly just everything else around here. Oh. Gosh. Me and my big mouth, eh? What is happening? There is a strong sense of something emanating from these dolls. Would you kindly be quiet? I'm trying to be spooked by a demon, Mrs. B. It's locked behind me. Yes, I had guessed as much. Perhaps we'd better vamoose. Oh, down into the basement. Of course. Well, come on. I'm gonna die, at least die soon. Not being tormented in the process. My head is throbbing. I'm on the brink of insanity. This really cannot be happening. This cannot be my end. I don't want to know anything about your ends, mate. Oh, gosh. This seems an awful lot more modern than the stuff we were looking at before. Murderous tools scattered around the floor. Deranged and demented psychopaths lives here. I was better off dying on the water than in this hell. What? We're going to climb inside a cupboard. Chapter 4. To a better place. I get the distinct impression the only better place I'm ever going to reach is if I get my head cut off. With whatever life I may have left in me, I need to make my way back to the forest. There must be some way to escape. I wouldn't put money on it, but I'm not going to try and quell your optimism, mate. I think there's other things of yours that are going to get quelled in a minute. Okay, where am I? In some sort of coal shed? Oh no, I'm outside. Yes, this is, yeah, like the horse's head is just on the other side of this, this bit of wall. Sounds like the rain has stopped anyway. Ah, horse's head is gone. That's good. The one moment I actually, rely on a piece of information is the moment that piece of information has changed. Okay, right. Let's go back up into the forest, and... oh, at least there's a full moon. That doesn't mean there's going to be werewolves or anything. It's pretty, though. You've got to admit, if nothing else, at least it's pretty. Shallow old soul that I am. Okay, once again, I'm going to assume there's nothing that we're supposed to look at. We're just going to have to wait for the arrow to appear. Which is a bit of a shame that it's sort of reusing the same environment again and again. We've sort of been down this area 3 times now. And only once have we actually had to look at anything in it. I hear footsteps. Seems like there are wild dogs on the island. In this darkness, it's hard to see what's going on. Really? Because the weight of a wild dog and the weight of a tuxedo-wearing occultist psychopath are probably quite different. Which means the footsteps are probably going to be quite different. So I'm so weak, I'll be easy prey for any predator. Yes. I mean, I'd suggest climbing a tree, but to be honest, that's probably just going to delay the inevitable. Might make things a bit easier on the way down, though. I've got to muster up a little energy I've got left and get out of here. Well, if we hadn't traipsed back up and down this path about 3 or 4 times, we wouldn't need to muster energy, would we? We'd have run out of it in the first place. But yes, it is a little bit of a shame that it's reusing the same path again. At least it's changing the light, so things look a little different and everything else. The footsteps sound closer. Someone or something is following me. Sounds like the aliens from Mothership Zeta, but I'm going to leave that to one side, and we'll see if we can find my canoe. Footsteps have stopped. Whoever's following me seems to have retreated. Which is never a good thing. When the bad guy lets you go, you know you're just walking into something even worse. Alright. My canoe? I don't remember this being this long. I can see moonlight shimmering on the water. Looks like I'm finally close to my boat. I hope so. I don't know which way we're going. I've completely lost my sense of direction now. Well, this way. That's good. Good thing I have this GPS to help me out. What? The storm must have swept my boat away. Now what? Why can't I look behind me? Okay, that's not the world's greatest way to do a jump scare. But, wow. Wearing a horse's head, wearing a tuxedo, carrying a chainsaw, going to murder me. Oh, that's not the end. Oh. Oh. That's nice. That's a nice touch. That helps answer an awful lot of questions in a very simple and plain image. But, this is beautiful, actually. I like the little birds moving around. Works very nicely. Very nicely indeed. Is there, going to be another jump scare? Or should I just get out of here? Oh, no. No, no. I'm just going to wait for the darkness to slowly envelop me and, bring about my untimely demise. That was quite good for the most part. Most expensive horse sold. Horse bought by famed industrialist Jacob Wardwell. Jacob Wardwell has become the proud owner of Eclair, the most expensive horse ever sold. Mr. Wardwell has become a common sight at the big money races, even as the company's stocks underperformed since he took the reins of his late father, Hollister Wardwell. I have had my eye on Eclair for over a year, and I look forward to the Derby season. This horse may end up becoming my lucky charm. The sweepstakes start in 2 months, and Mr. Wardwell has announced something or other we didn't get time to read. Jacob Wardwell buys an island. CEO and chairman of Wardwell Industries has bought himself a large island, the newspapers learned. I wanted privacy for my family in this magnificent place. Work has already started on a house we are building there. The location will remain secret, although there are hints it is near the coast of Massachusetts. Well, I won't go into that. Our family has a history and a legacy here, but as I have told you, I will not disclose the location. Wardwell's prize horse cost him a fortune. Bad times continue for Eclair and her owner. Jacob Wardwell. Eclair has not been the same since her foot injury a year ago, and she continues to lose. Mr. Wardwell paid the highest sum ever to buy Eclair, but he has seen his fortune dwindling after gambling massively. Wardwell Industries has lost Herald as the largest company in Boston, but is now said to be in deep financial distress. Whole family dead. Jacob Wardwell's remains not found. The famous Wardwell mansion, which has been a staple of Andover for decades, burned down to ashes last night. Firefighters arrived at the scene but have been unable to put out the massive blaze until morning. Charred remains were found Catherine Wardwell, Ella Wardwell, and Ava Wardwell. The remains of Jacob Wardwell have not been found. Fascinating. So, is it... oh, hang on. There is yet more. I was all ready to do my shtick about game design rant that I always seem to end up doing. Cute. So when you say many years later, do you mean now? In, like, the concurrent? Which means we weren't previously in the present. We were a bit before then. Fascinating. After all these years of searching, could this finally be the island I've been looking for? Okay, so you're going to look for the answers to the mystery of the Wardwells? Okie dokie. I don't know if there's going to be many other points of interest to look at. But this is intriguing. Seems like the story has been thoroughly wrapped up, and yet it seems there's also a little more. I've been searching for more than 20 years. I hope you're still alive. Okay, now am I the son of the man in the boat, or am I the son of... I can't be the son of Jacob Wardwell, because all his children died in the fire, didn't they? Oh, okay, we're going to leave that as a little teaser for maybe some sort of a sequel or something. Okay, that's fair enough. So that was Wardwell House. That was interesting. Thank you for playing. If you enjoyed, please rate. Yes. This was interesting. It would have been nicer if it hadn't used that path. Maybe if we'd gone like, even if it was like a different way through the forest and they used different images, that would have been nice. It was good, however, that it used the lighting to change things up a little bit, so it looks like it was a bit darker the second and third time around. That was good. I'm honestly not convinced about the jump scare. The design for the bad guy was fascinating, with the whole horse's head and the chainsaw and the tuxedo. That was really, really fascinating. And the effect of turning around and seeing this cross on the ground where you'd been standing was a very effective way of answering the questions from earlier about what all those little crosses were about. I still don't know what all of the black sheets were all about, but it certainly answered the crosses question very well. But yeah, the jump scare could have been done a little bit better. Just sort of zooming in on his eye didn't quite seem to do it for me, but I don't know, maybe I'm just weird about that. But yes, for the most part, for what this was quite enjoyable. This was quite fun, quite an interesting story, and a little bit spooky at times. So thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen, for Wardwell House. Look after each other, and good night.